What if everything we believed about Thanos was a lie? The Avengers painted him as the ultimate villain, but what if he was someone completely different? He didn't want to rule. He didn't seek victory. He simply believed in balancing the world that is utterly in the chaos. Thanos didn't kill out of hatred, there was always purpose behind everything he did. His mission was evil no matter what, but it was deeply painful to him too. This video isn't trying to justify the destruction, it's here to go into depths of what Thanos felt. Because even after completing the mission he wasn't happy, like a true villain enjoying that he destroyed the world. Let's explore whether the Mad Titan was really mad, or simply the only one willing to do what others couldn't. 1. Thanos didn't want power, he wanted balance. Unlike most villains who obsess over thrones, armies, or feeling to be superior or worshipped by others, Thanos stood apart. He never asked to be king, never fought to sit on a throne, and never spoke of legacy or superiority. Instead, what he truly sought was balance, a desperate and cold solution to a universal problem he saw consuming galaxies, overpopulation and limited resources. In his mind, the universe was breaking. And no one had the courage to fix it, so he took the damn step for the sake to do the right thing. He believed that true compassion required sacrifice, even if that meant becoming the monster in everyone's story. His logic can be understood if we choose to listen his side of the story. This is what makes Thanos chilling and heartbreaking at once. Because in the pursuit of balance, he stripped himself of joy, comfort, and even love. He wasn't a conqueror feasting on power, he was a soldier burdened with a solution he believed the rest of the universe was too cowardly to consider. It made him human. 2. His mission was driven by personal tragedy, not ambition or any hatred. Thanos wasn't born a tyrant. He became one out of unbearable loss. On his home planet Titan, he witnessed firsthand the devastating consequences of unchecked population growth, poverty, starvation, and civil collapse. He begged his people to act, to reduce their numbers in order to survive, but they refused. And then, they vanished. The planet crumbled into ruin. He couldn't bear the loss. And so, he turned pain into purpose, twisting his grief into a mission he believed would save others from the fate that destroyed him. He wasn't chasing domination, he was chasing the memory of a world he couldn't save, hoping that in saving others, he might find redemption for his first and greatest failure. 3. The snap was designed to be random, because being fair mattered to him. Thanos could have chosen to eliminate only the poor, the weak, or the powerless. He could have snapped away his enemies, or spared those who worshipped him. But he didn't. His snap was entirely random, rich or poor, powerful or helpless, everyone had a 50% chance. To him, that was the only fair way to carry out something so cruel. That randomness wasn't an oversight, it was a deliberate rejection of bias, favoritism, and judgment. This decision shows that he wasn't acting out of hatred or personal vendetta. He wasn't playing God in the traditional sense. He didn't claim to know who deserved to live. In fact, he made sure not to decide. That's the terrifying part. He didn't want control over who lived and who died. He believed that mercy lies in detachment, and that only a truly fair purge would prevent rebellion, resentment, or tyranny from rising in the aftermath. 4. He gave up the only person he truly loved. To gain the Soul Stone, Thanos had to give up what he loved most. And he didn't hesitate, he chose Gamora. The only person he truly cared about. That moment on Vormir wasn't cold, it was gut-wrenching. You could see it in his eyes, the crack in his voice, the tears that betray the madness label others stamped on him. This wasn't just a sacrifice, it was a man destroying his own heart for a goal he believed mattered more than himself. This moment feels like the greatest tragedy Thanos could ever go through. The kind that villains usually avoid by clinging to power. Thanos didn't cling. He let go, knowing it would haunt him forever. 5. He retired after succeeding, not to rule, but to rest. What's the first thing most villains do after winning? They build empires, they impose fear, they take control. But Thanos did something no one expected, he just left. After completing the snap he chose a quiet farm over a throne room. He didn't gather loyalists. He didn't claim dominion over the universe. He simply stepped away. That decision speaks volumes about his motives. Thanos believed his job was done. He didn't seek praise or power. He believed the universe would now heal itself. And so he lived among nature, wounded and alone, cooking his meals, walking slowly, speaking softly. This isn't the behavior of a dictator, it's the routine of someone who saw his actions as a necessary evil and now wanted no part in the world he helped shape. His final words before Thor struck him, "I am inevitable," weren't spoken with arrogance. They were whispered with resignation. And it makes him less of a villain, and more of a martyr in his own fractured reality. 6. He refused to be worshipped or revered. Unlike gods or dictators who crave loyalty, fear, or admiration, Thanos showed a striking indifference to being adored. He didn't want his name etched into history as a legend or hailed by galaxies as a savior. Even after accomplishing the most devastating and calculated act in the history of the MCU, he never demanded reverence. He didn't carve monuments, command followers, or declare himself supreme. This absence of ego sets him apart from virtually every other villain in the franchise. This refusal to accept power after having unlimited power in his grasp makes his character fascinatingly anti-villainous. It suggests that his core motivation was never about himself. Not even his own survival mattered. He saw himself as a necessary evil, an instrument of change, not the centerpiece of a new empire. And that quiet humility, twisted as it is, suggests he may not have been the monster we were told he was. 7. He wanted to eliminate suffering, not merely lives. In his grim ledger, death was the cost of preventing deeper agony, generations felled by famine, wars ignited by scarcity, children condemned to hunger. He pictured those futures as vividly as we picture our nightmares, convinced half a universe would perish in misery without preemptive mercy. So the snap, horrific as it was, seemed to him kinder than the alternative, decades of drawn-out collapse that would claim even more souls in bloodier ways. For him, erasing the population half its size seemed to be the only thing than curing the mess. 8. He treated the snap as a one-time act and destroyed the stones. Moments after completing his objective, he used the Infinity Stones to annihilate themselves, crippling his own power forever. That irreversible step proves he never intended cyclical purges or dynastic control, he wanted finality. He feared what lesser minds might do with such absolute force, wage wars, bend time, enslave civilizations, so he sacrificed the very tools that had given him godhood. Self-limitation is antithetical to conquering psychology, yet perfectly aligned with a man who wanted equilibrium and rest. Ironically, by crippling himself, he guaranteed the Avengers' eventual victory, but from his vantage, preventing future snaps mattered more than personal survival. He baked his own defeat into his master plan for the universe's safety. 9. He offered no resistance when justice caught up. When Earth's mightiest crashed through his door, Thanos stood alone, scarred by the stone's energy, quietly preparing a meal. No armies, no traps, only resignation. He even confessed to destroying the gems, fully aware that would provoke lethal rage. His lack of retaliation wasn't cowardice, it was closure. To him, the job was done, and any punishment was a cost he precalculated. There was dignity, not fear, in his immobility as Thor's axe descended. We hardly saw villains die in peace, one of them was Thanos. 10. He believed delay kills more than decisive brutality. From Titan's failure, he learned that councils, committees, and polite debates can doom worlds faster than tyrants. Each moment of inaction seeds 10 future tragedies, and in his eyes, galaxy-spanning governments were habitual procrastinators. Thus, he viewed democracy's caution as fatal dithering, the harsher the medicine, the sooner the cure. By stripping the universe of choice in that instant, he believed he spared it centuries of indecisive torment. That absolutist tempo horrifies free societies, yet it stems from existential urgency, not sadism. Thanos played the part of cosmic deadline, forcing a reckoning before resources turned to ash and hope to cannibalism. So, was Thanos truly a monster, or a martyr who bled the universe so it could breathe again? His argument is ice-cold, but its logic burns holes in our certainties, leaving us unsettled long after the credits fade. If balance demands blood, are we brave enough to decline, even while planets choke? Or do we embrace compassion, trusting we can innovate our way out of crisis without sacrificing half of everything? The Mad Titan forces us to choose, comfort in moral absolutes or courage to stare into ethical abyss. Perhaps that is why his gauntlet fist still haunts pop culture, it squeezes our conscience tighter than any villain before him. In the end, Thanos may have snapped more than fingers, he snapped our illusion that good and evil are always obvious. And if we dare to call him wrong, we must craft better answers for the real-world dangers he diagnosed. The universe, both fictional and real, is watching which path we take. And unlike Thanos, it won't give us a second snap to get it right.